My concussion has given me abilities. I can now fly. No, that's a lie. Now I have your attention, though, so I'll take that. I have a question for you. What is the purpose of a helmet? A bike helmet, a sports helmet, any helmet you wear? Now, most of you are probably thinking to prevent concussions, because that's what this talk is about. Well, really, you're wrong. That's what most people have been led to believe, but the truth is, they don't. We'll come back to that. My name is Jack Sloan, and I've had a concussion for over a year now. I got my concussion in gym, where there were 6 basketball games going on at a time in one gym. I know, already sounds like a bad idea. So I was bending down and running to get a ball from my game, and a ball from another game came and hit me in the head. So how concussion works is that your brain is floating in a fluid in your skull. When you crash into something, your brain suddenly moves forward as if you're in a car. Most of the causes of a concussion come from impact. But the important thing to realize is it's not the actual impact that causes the concussion. So when you're moving forward, your brain moves back in your skull, just like as if you're in a car. Then imagine the car quickly stops. Hopefully you'd be wearing a seatbelt, but your brain doesn't have a seatbelt, because that's just not how physics work. So your brain doesn't have a seatbelt, so it slams forward in your skull and crashes into your skull. That's when the concussion happens. So in my story, when I was running forward, that's when my brain moved back in my skull, and then when the basketball hit me, that's like the car stopping quickly, and my brain slammed forward. So now you're probably thinking, okay, should I go home, be scared about getting a concussion, wear a helmet everywhere I go, and just live inside a bubble? No, that's a bad idea. Obviously, because there's a lot of reasons you shouldn't do that. Also, though, there are ways to prevent concussions. The first one is not a very proven thing, but it's called hyperbaric oxygen treatment. I call it hyperbaric oxygen treatment because I'm not a big fan of it. So basically, you go and lay in a glass tube filled with pure oxygen for an hour, and it's supposed to give you a barrier against concussions. However, for me, I tried that after I got my concussion, which is why it might not have helped. So I don't know for sure if it will help, but I'll just say what I can. Other than that, though, you can just be aware. If you're aware of concussions, you'll know right away that having 6 basketball games in one gym is not a good idea. So now, I mentioned I've had my concussion for over a year. You're probably wondering why. Most concussions will last for about a month. So my personal theory is that after I got hit, I went to the nurse. The nurse sent me back to class because she thought I did not have a concussion and I just had a bruise. So I went back to class, and then after school, I played tennis. My theory is that because I played tennis, that's what caused it to last so long. The point of this is that everyone should know how to treat a concussion and what the symptoms are so you can tell if you have one. Whether you're a teacher, a school nurse, a gym teacher, or even just a kid, if you know the symptoms of a concussion, you can help someone. So now that you know the symptoms of a concussion, which include a headache, dizziness, it can be nausea, but the most important thing is that you do not have to be unconscious. So once you see if someone's having those symptoms, then what do? Do you just keep playing? Well, obviously, the answer is no. You probably knew that already. So basically, you want to get out of the way to prevent another hit to your head to make it worse, but you also want to get to a doctor to be officially diagnosed. Your doctor will probably tell you to stay off of screens for a while, not to do too much thinking, basically give your brain a rest, because yes, that is possible. So then, basically, what it's like having a concussion is just like that. You have a headache, sometimes dizziness, sensitivity to light or noise. With me, I'm getting headaches daily, if not more than once a day. But so, back to the helmet thing. I told you that they don't prevent concussions, and that's true. What they prevent is skull injuries, where your skull would crack. Because of the way a concussion happens, the helmet does not stop the impact, which is what causes the concussion, or the bounce back from the impact is what causes the concussion. What we really need is an airbag to go around your head. And it sounds stupid, but they have been invented. When there's a mechanism that you'd wear around your neck, and when it detects you're starting to fall, it quickly inflates, which softens the impact. It's almost like having a piece of foam in front of the car if it's crashing into another car, using that car example. And one last thing, if someone has a concussion and doesn't have to do homework or any kind of testing because of that, they're not lucky.